when it plays. Good evening and welcome along to the latest edition of the Endless Celts Podcast. I've just checked YouTube as that intro was going. We're definitely live this time, Jed. So we're not going to be talking away for about 20 minutes and no be live. So I welcome to everybody in the comments, Red Scotland, Thomas Burns, San Fran, Corvo. Welcome back, and we'll just we'll get into how was your weekend, Jed? We'll start there.
Yeah, very, very quiet. Really done nothing. Went to the game and then just chilled out yesterday. Watched some of the English football yesterday, and I've been watching a wee bit of the Dundee derby tonight before we came on there.
I've kind of got it on the telly there, just over my shoulder. Well, it's over my shoulder. I've kind of that way I'm watching and can do this at the same time. But I just kind of, before we get into the podcast, obviously over the weekend Scotland's lost a figure in Dennis Law, and obviously I think it was yesterday it was announced that Timmy Calderwood had passed away. So obviously just everybody at the podcast just passing on our condolences and best wishes as we can to the family, both people. But we'll just get into it, Jed. Celtic started the defence of the Scottish Cup at home to Kilmarnock. Can be a tricky tie, and as it turned out, it was kind of the old cliche. We just got through the tie. Obviously, we did dominate the game in the main, but it can almost go down as we got our name in the hat for the next round. But how did you see the game?
Well, Franny, let's be honest. Even before walking to the game, I think, look, I'll take a 1-0 here. I think the most important thing is you get through to the next round. Yeah, at times I thought we played well. Now I've been pretty critical of him recently, but I thought Callum McGregor had a very good first 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And then we just let Dundee, they kind of went man for man and done the high press, and we kind of fell away a wee bit back, and that kind of knocked us a wee bit. But in the second half, I thought we were in total control of the game and were the winners. I don't think Kilmarnock can complain. You know, we had a better chance. Which again, it was a bit of a deja vu. You know, for the previous week, Dundee should have been dead and buried in the first half. Kilmarnock should have been dead and buried in the first half. Kyogo, Hatate, missed great chances, and then it always leaves with just being one goal in front. It just leaves that bit of pressure, and then they got the equaliser, and then look, I did feel as though we were going to get a goal in the second half, and I'm glad it came, because we were pinning them back. I think they only had one shot and goal in the second half. Michael made a save, but it wasn't a great, just it went straight to his body. That's the only time I can think they put us under a wee bit of pressure. Or not even pressure. The only time they had a shot at goal. But I thought we totally deserved the win. And let's you say, Fran, most important thing is we're in for tonight's draw.
Yeah, and I'm assuming tonight's draw will be after this Dundee game, so we'll kind of the boys can reflect it. Aye, there's no chance we'll still be able to talk about that, Jed. Not a chance. Not a chance. So the guys on Friday can talk about that. They could talk about that. But we did like that. Kuhn essentially set the tone, I think, for that first half. Obviously, at first I thought it was a fantastic ball for Hatate, but then when you see it's kind of the Kilmarnock boy that plays Kuhn in, and obviously clatters Ross McCrory. Keeper's brave, both players are brave, but I think that sort of set the tone for us. McCrory's got, I don't know if he's fractured his jaw or something, but he had I don't. You probably wouldn't have noticed at the game, Jed. I don't know if you've seen highlights, but
I've not.
I've seen it watching it.
But it's a bad one. I know.
You see, obviously, you see when you're seeing it happening live on the telly, you can see he's obviously clattered into his face and he's held it, but it's obviously they're not wanting to rush a guy off the park. It's a head injury. They're doing the right thing by taking their time, and as it's going on, you could just see his eye getting redder and browner and getting bigger, and you're like, oh, you're just, if that's just a black eye, then hopefully, but I think it is more serious. But I think that did set the tone, and obviously the the Kyogo chance, I think we were 1-0 up at the time, and obviously Hatate's chance as well. But McGregor's goal, it was a nice wee layoff from Kyogo, and it's been a wee while since we've seen McGregor do that. Just a wee bounce by a couple of boys and just nice wee low shot into the bottom corner.
And another goal outside the box. But Franny, where I sit, you can clearly see the keeper had left a gap, and it was just crying out for him to put it in the corner, and he did. So it was a great finish. And I did think, we're going to, even after that, I thought we're going to go on and get a couple more goals, but it wasn't to be in the first half. But yeah, as I said earlier, the game should have been dead and buried. We had the chances.
See, like, the chances, like, it's got to sound a silly question. We consider we scored 3 goals against Dundee recently, 3 against Rangers. We have been scoring goals, but the last couple of weeks, if you look at the Kyogo chance, he's through 1-on-1. He does everything right, bar score essentially. He's done the right thing in how he's tried to do it. Then obviously you've got the Hatate one where he should score his yards out and he puts it over the bar. Is it something you're maybe worried about moving forward, especially looking at it, not to jump way ahead, but looking ahead to Wednesday, which is probably one of the, if not the biggest game of your season right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all think like that in Europe. When we get chances like that, we have to be more clinical. We have to put them away. I would be more concerned if we weren't getting in any positions to create
That's
the chance.
A great point.
But we are. So, again, I know we'll touch on the Wednesday night's game a little bit later, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine.
No, that is a good point you made there, Jed, and the fact that we are getting it, we're scoring goals, so it's maybe try to shore it up a wee bit at the back as well, because obviously in recent weeks we've shipped a few goals, but we'll go on to the equaliser. Obviously we did kind of dominate, but as the game kind of progresses, obviously getting close to half time, Kille's maybe just thinking we'll take it. Obviously they had a chance, a free kick where they hit the bar and stuff, but you get close to half time and they're thinking we might just get a wee chance, and I can't remember if it was for open play. I think it started for a corner and it just breaks over and the Kilmarnock boy puts a decent enough cross in. And then it's Engels. It's kind of between the boy that it deflects off and the scorer. I don't think you can blame Engels. I don't think you can blame anybody. It blatantly comes off the Kilmarnock boy's hand. Now I think the rule book say because he has got it tucked in, but I just don't know how he can justify. His hand's 100% in his side. And then if you see the highlights, it does try to pull away from it. It's just, without sounding like Neil McCann after, I think it was the Kemar Roof goal where Dessers got in Lagerbielke. It was like, I know it's the rules, and I just don't like it. It's, how can such a blatant deflection that takes it away from Engels and falls to the guy and it be a goal? That's what I didn't get.
Well, Franny, can I turn around? If that was us, would you be expecting the goal to be given?
Probably I'll be honest.
I didn't think it was deliberate. His arm was right, tucked at the side. So I thought the correct decision was made, to be honest. But the ball, Johnson should have been tighter on the boy.
Possibly.
That would
probably.
If you're going to try and break it down, that would be my concern, that Johnson should have been tighter on him to try and stop the cross coming in.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, like I say, it is the rules. It's because it is tucked in his side. It just, I think at the time it maybe frustrated me and many a Celtic fan, the fact that nobody could deny it came off its arm, deflects straight to the guy as an assist. It was a weird one. But I think, like you say, if it's up the other end, I'm wanted because the guy has done everything to avoid really touching the ball, never mind touching it with his hand. I think when you see the highlights, it looks like he's trying to move away from the ball because I think he feels it's going to hit his hand just with the flight of the ball and things like that. Obviously, we go into the half-time 1-1. We're talking about maybe the chances we've missed, and you just don't know how we're going to start the second half. But then we come out and, like you say, we totally dominate that, and we score fairly early on. I think it is in the second half. Obviously,
70
we've got
minutes.
the trustians. Was that?
Was it 60 minutes? 70
It
minutes?
was about 60. Was I? Don't know. It was obviously just the highlights that totally confused me, Jed. Like, I did watch the game and seen the game, but I watched the highlights this morning again. I think that's just totally confused me that it was a lot earlier than what it was. But I obviously there's a ball played over the top, and I can't remember the command that player was running on it, but him and Trusty kind of bundle over. I think it's very soft, but what I would say is that they get the commandant boy gives the referee an easy out. I think it maybe is just 9 times out of 10 the defender's always going to get that when it's a wee toss. So I think Trusty's sensed them going down. But then you look at I think there's 5 or 6 passes before it finds its way to Maeda after that. And from the free kick, it's a fantastic goal. But if you start with the Trusty thing, do you think that was a foul, Jed?
Well, again, Franny, where I was sitting, I was actually thought it was a foul to us.
Yeah.
You know, because I felt the boy was already on him, and Trusty fell back with him because of the pressure, because he was fouling him.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he fell in. That's what I thought at the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then we moved on. But like you say, there plenty of chances to try and clear it from there, and then Kuhn just made a fantastic run, and I'm thinking, is he going to hit it? Is he going to hit it? But then he found a great pass to Maeda. Maeda finished it well, and that kind of lifted the mood a wee bit, because you could feel some fans were beginning to turn a wee bit, and I'm not liking that now. You know, it's
there is a wee. It does feel.
What was that comment there?
Sorry, that was San Fran here. I think he's talking obviously about the first goal as well. I'm assuming he's talking about the first goal. The equaliser, sorry.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about when he's saying we wouldn't want it chopped off, and I think we all kind of agreed that. It was just at the time it just felt very strange for me at the time, but it is the rules. It was explained that it is the rules, so there's not much you can do. Just kind of briefly on Trusty as well, obviously last week he came under a wee bit of stick. He didn't have a great game up at Dens Park. I thought it was good that Brendan Rodgers showed faith in him and stuck him in again at the weekend. Equally came out and praised him. I'm not saying Trusty had a brilliant game. I don't think he had a poor game, but I think it was clever for Brendan Rodgers to praise him after the performance, because he knew he played poor up at Dens Park. But do you think maybe teams are looking at Trusty as maybe the weak link and try to play off him, and looks like you can maybe overpower him? It seems strange when you look at the Atlanta games and things like that, where he was an absolute rock, but it just looks the last couple of games against a striker that likes the physical battle. Do you think maybe Trusty's not up for it? I hate saying that because clearly he's up for it, but maybe they're just trying to target him a wee bit.
No, I just personally think, I mean, we can't kind of say he had a very good poor game at Dundee, but he has had a lot more better games than he has had bad games. And I was pleased at the start. They started well, and I thought he done okay. I thought he was okay. He slipped in the first half. That's the only time I can remember. But look, players slip. That's the problem, and nothing came of it. But no, I thought he done well, and I think he will be playing on Wednesday night as well.
I think we've kind of all sort of said it in the group chat. I think it's nothing against Scales. I think we would all accept Scales going in there. I just think Rodgers, he can't keep changing that position. He needs to stick by one and let them build a part. Whether that be Scales, whether that be Trusty, just let them build a partnership with him and CCV. So I think for Brendan Rodgers, it has to be Trusty that goes in there, because if he's wanting to try and go to that next level player, I know it shouldn't come down to money, but it's not a great look if you've got your £6 million guy on the bench and a guy, Liam Scales, that I think that cost us about $500,000 playing ahead of him. So I think Rodgers needs Trusty to work anyway. So I'm with you. It's good that he was in there, but just quite. Sam Franz came up with another good point. Kind of agree with you, Jed. He said it used to be a lot of our fans that would be complaining if we didn't have the game won by half time. It's starting after 20 minutes now, and you'll know that better being at the games week in, week out. Jed.
Yeah, well, San Fran, I'm not obviously don't know how old you are, but I think there's a generation of Celtic fans who have been very lucky. They've not really seen Celtic through the bad times. I have. And I certainly don't want to go back to that. We have been spoiled. We have been spoiled in the last 20 years.
Oh.
And that's what people are used to. They expect us just to go and put sides away. But it can't happen. We're human beings. The players are human beings. They cannot play like that all the time. If you've got one or two players who are maybe a 5 or a 6 and the rest of them are 8s, we can get away with it. But when you've got 4 or 5 players at a 5 or a 6 level, we could find out. But that happened. I mean, look at Man City as well. I mean, it happens. But it is frustrating when it does. But after the Dundee game, I was absolutely raging, but when you calm down the next day and think about it, we never get beat, so that's fine. But Franny, I was wanting to ask you, and also the guys that's focus watching, when they took off Taylor and brought on Scales, right? How did people think that rather than bringing on Valle? My thought behind that was, we knew that I was thinking the last 5-10 minutes, Kilmarnock's going to put a lot of high balls in.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got they've got some big players in their team where Scales was going to give us that wee bit more height. That's why I think he brought him on. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but at the game, that's what I thought.
I understand the logic to that, Jet. And at the time, what I was thinking is, because I think he'd done it up at Dundee as well, bring Scales on instead, and obviously in between the two games, the rumours have came out, obviously, that Valle looks like he might be going over to Italy, to Como, which maybe to me suggests that Tierney might be coming this month. I can't, especially with Bernabe just being confirmed today, I don't see us running the rest of the season. Aye, and we're nearly got, I think it's 4.5 million rising to 5 for that guy. I don't know what he needs to do to get the other 500,000, but I wouldn't. I'd write that
Stephen
up anyway.
Stephen will be having a black armband tonight on.
I know. Aye. Everybody's commemorating Jimmy Calderwood and Dennis Law, but no Stephen. He's having a wee moment. Applause for Bernabe. So to me, that's to answer your skills one. At the time, I was looking at obviously just Taylor getting a wee bit of risk. I think obviously we'll talk about it, but I think Taylor's they're going to start on Wednesday. But obviously with the Valle rumours, I know we shouldn't be thinking about injuring a player potentially getting injured and him then getting a move, because obviously you run that risk and him not getting the move to then Spain out it. But that's initially what I looked at as going, well, Brendan Rodgers knows Valle's away, so he's not got to use him. But I never actually looked at how you've said, Jed, and it actually is a great point. But anybody that's watching, if that's what did you think of the Skills one, especially up at Dens, and then obviously at the weekend? Do you think it was as Jed said, it's to combat maybe some high balls? Because I do agree, I think Scales wins a lot of his headers and wins a lot of his aerial duels. Or is it just a sign of Valle away, or maybe a bit of both? But for me, I was looking at the Valle one, but I think you're probably maybe more on the money there, Jed, just getting a bit of height in there.
I mean, even when the game kicked off, you look at the opposition players and think, God, they're a taller team than what I remembered, and that's one thing our team doesn't have. We don't have a lot of tall players in our team.
No.
So it is always a worry at set pieces and so on. So that was my reason, and I could be totally wrong, and I was just wondering what people thought.
It's just an opinion, Jed. At the end of the day, it's all we're here today is give an opinion. But we'll just obviously we then go on. We managed to set out the game. Obviously, we had a couple other chances. The Maeda goal that was again rightly chopped offside. It looked proper tight. Maeda did look onside, but obviously the draw lines, it shows that he's offside. But I think even if Ida was offside, and obviously Ida plays in Kuhn, who misses an absolute Saturn.
Yeah.
I've seen some folk getting either stinking on Twitter for all that, and I'm like, what did they do? For me, what did they do? Like, if he plays to Maeda or plays to Kuhn, either pass is right for me. But I think the easier one was obviously Kuhn, but I know he's not been great, and that's obviously another game that he's not scored in, but certainly in that situation, Ida for me is not the one that should be getting the criticism. Surely, Jed.
He feels that himself. He knows he's struggling. So what if he went and tried to do it himself and he blasts it wide? The fans are going to be on his back. He'd done the right thing.
Aye.
And he couldn't missed it. No, it wasn't Ida. Ida played the perfect. Well, he played the best option, I thought.
Aye.
Couldn't missed it.
No. I think it was like, for me, either pass was right, but I think the Kuhn one was more right because just the way he's running it, it looks like he's more naturally looking towards Kuhn. And as much as Maeda with plenty of goals this season, even he's won this on Saturday, it was a cool, calm, composed finish. I still would have trusted Kuhn over Maeda in that position to stick it away.
Yeah, I mean, we've rattled the bar in the second half, and the keeper's made a fantastic save.
I can't remember.
Aye.
It was Hatate that got the second effort.
Great save. So again, if we'd come out of that game 5-6-1, Kilmarnock couldn't have had any complaints.
Nah. Derek McInnes will always find one, but he'll always find one.
Aye, that's him. That's fine. So he's hurting. Brilliant.
I know.
Why did he not have his team pressing earlier in the first half than what he did? Why did they not continue the press in the second half? They started to sit back again. So he has to look at himself before criticising the so-called foul on his player. Where when I seen it from my end, you could see it was a Kilmarnock player was fouling Trusty first, but the telly doesn't show that. It just shows you.
It just shows you kind of the two of them.
But you didn't see it before that. Where I was, I could clearly see he was getting fouled.
You'll see about it for I just Derek McInnes just we never beat Kilmarnock. Well, we never beat a Derek McInnes team fairly. It just feels like every time he interviews, he's auditioning for the Rangers job.
He reminds me so much of a man called Jim Jeffries. He used to be the Hearts man of Falkirk, who never ever praised Celtic. If Celtic won, he just came up with this referees, this, that. McInnes reminds me so much of that. And listen, he's hurting. Good. That makes the result even sweeter. Instead of just coming out saying, look, I was holding my foul there. It's poor, but to be honest, we were lucky just to get away with 2-1 with the chances that they had.
Oh, aye. Because like you say, the Kuhn one that hits the bar is the keeper's beat all ends up, and then it comes back out to Hatate, and his strike's absolutely brilliant, and the keeper, fair play him, makes an absolute wonder saving. Like we just briefly touched on there, the Ida one to Kuhn where he puts on one-on-one with the goalkeeper. So,
already off my seat. I thought Hatate's was in.
I
was up.
I was the same, Jed. When you just see it, it just feels like one of the ones. Obviously, it'd have been a lot different again, but it just feels, as soon as it hits, it just feels like one of the ones that you expect to nestle on the back of the net. It's almost right in the top corner, like postage stamp stuff. So the keeper's made a worldie, absolute worldie. But we'll kind of talk about our two wingers who I wouldn't say Maeda's going under the radar, but obviously Kuhn, he's a more skillful player. He's got a wee bit more flair and things like that. So he's coming under. He's getting more of the praise, but it feels like our wingers are having a wee bit of a battle between themselves, like a friendly battle, shall we? So obviously Kuhn sets up Maeda for what was the winning goal. But just looking at their stats now, if anybody's willing to correct me, I've just taken these off the internet, so we're going by what the internet says. So Maeda's played 30 games this season with 15 goals, 6 assists. I've not taken the time to see how many are domestic and cup games and whatnot. Kuhn's got 29 games, 16 goals and 12 assists. I'm gambling on that being one of the assists is from the weekend, so he's not due a fair team. So Maeda and 30 pretty much played the same games, one game in it. They've pretty much got the same goals, but Kuhn's got double the assists essentially. But between them, if I can count this, that's 31 goals between them and 18 assists between them in essentially 59 games. That's just madness for the two of them.
Yeah.
Madness. And I think Maeda's taken his game to a different level this season, it feels.
Yeah, and I think you have got to be honest as well. Maeda's final ball is nowhere as good as Kuhn's.
No.
Kuhn, when he cuts back inside, he has got that pace just to go past players. They're frightened to dive in. And he creates space as well because defenders don't know. Like the second goal proved they didn't know, and then it created the space and they just passed it to Maeda. But again, in all the big games, every single one of us want Maeda to play because of the defensive side of his game. He can help out.
Sorry to cut you off, Jed, but Sam Francis came in with the exact same thing. Said,
I think me and Sam
the defensive work.
Yeah, we're obviously.
I think you're the same guy here.
Aye.
I know.
But yeah, that's Maeda does a lot more defensive work than what Kuhn does. But Kuhn has got more flair. So he has.
Oh, I think that's maybe why he gets a lot more credit because he is more of a flair player, whereas
yeah, of course.
I wouldn't say Maeda goes about his business quietly, but it sometimes just feels you would always, for me anyway, you would always expect if the rules were reversed, you'd expect Maeda to probably pick the wrong pass or no execute the pass. And it sounds silly because I think technically he's came on leaps and bounds this. He just looks like a technically better player this season.
Yeah. But we've all said as well, Franny, if Maeda had a better final ball, he wouldn't be with us.
Wouldn't be Celtic. Nah. Got to be
that's why he's still outside because his final ball, for every 10 he puts in, he's probably got 2. That's good because 7 or 8 of them is just way over.
So it's like a backhanded compliment every time you talk about Maeda, but
he's
one of the first people on the team sheet.
The two of them will be playing on Wednesday. Fingers crossed that they're not getting picked up in series because we need them. We need them big time.
Obviously, and for me, especially guys like Maeda who give you that energy for 90 minutes and will not give a defender a minute's space, and even like you're saying, Sam Francis and come back the way they'll double up and help. It's just the left back who I'm expecting to be tearing things like that.
Maeda can give us a full 90 minutes. Can Kuhn?
Yes.
I don't know.
No. I know, and again, that's not I dig it Kuhn. To try and do that energy and run at that for 90 minutes, it's no easy. It's surprising that Maeda does it week in, week out, essentially. And obviously there's talk of us trying to get a left winger to compete in or be better than a better option than Maeda, but you've got to have to be, as much as we maybe criticise his technique, you've got to have to go something to replace Maeda, I think, eventually when we do look to do that.
Yeah, I think when he's no longer with us, you'll realise just exactly what he does in the game.
Aye. I've tried today he goes.
I know. So that is the worry. And talking about bringing in wingers, I'm bitterly disappointed we have not made any signings yet. We're at the 20th.
I think a lot's riding on Wednesday.
I know.
It's a weird way, but I think it just feels that way, Jed.
I know that, but our bread and butter is the league. We need it for the league. So I just hope there's loads of work in the background, and come Thursday morning when we're at the knockout stage, and if we win, then they say, right, boom, we're resigning 1, 2, 3 players because we do need a minimum of 3 players in minimum.
I would be okay with 2. Like I would say, do what you can to get Tierney in, and then ideally that winger to aid Maeda, because obviously you always want to improve, but just players of that, certainly Tierney's quality. And if you're getting, it looks like Rodgers doesn't want guys in just for the sake of it, just for numbers. So he's want to bring in actual quality. So say it as it just freshens up the place and probably just re-energises certain guys. Not that guys like Maeda need re-energise. We've just been talking about how good he's been and stuff, and we're not trying to displace him. But it maybe just takes his level up a wee bit more, because he's like, well, somebody's came in, I'll show them, they've got to have to go a bit. So I am with you in the sense that I would bring in guys as early as we can.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the way they're looking at it, going, well, they can't essentially help us for the Champions League, so what is the rush? I mean, it's a terrible way to look.
I think as well, if we did, correct me if I'm wrong, if we had signed anybody from the first to the now, they wouldn't be able to play in Wednesday.
No, not in the group stage or against Aston Villa.
Yeah. But I mean, talk about Villa, that the rumour was today that 4.5-year deal for the striker is going out on loan from Aston Villa. But I don't know. I mean, I just, like I say,
that one doesn't seem to be going away.
No, I'm hoping that the papers are already been out. Their agents are quite happy with everything it's been, and come Thursday will be players coming in, because deals will be done, because we're through to the target was to get to the knockout stage or the playoff stage.
It's still a knockout tie, essentially, Jed.
Yes, so if Roger comes down and says, well, I've done that, so you need to then back me.
Yeah.
But we were saying prior to the game or on Saturday in the stadium, I feel as though the Rangers' defeat is still overhanging the club. I think a lot of the fans are, they're still angry about it. And that's why I was hoping the players just to come in, as you touched on, to freshen the place up, to give each other a boost. And we've not had that.
That's a good way to look at it, because it gets you talking about something else, essentially.
Yeah, because we are still, we never seen that coming.
No.
Nobody's seen that coming. And let's be honest, it could have been worse. Could have been a lot more.
Aye.
And that's how I then thought the board will react and we'll get the players in early, but we haven't. So I'm bitterly disappointed we haven't done that yet. Because you had the players getting them bedded in, then when we get, fingers crossed, we get to the knockout, the playoff place, whatever you want to call it, then these guys have already got umpteen minutes with the team.
Aye.
This waiting, I hope to God we're not waiting to the final hour.
The only logic I can put in is we're waiting till Wednesday night's result to all but confirm us being in that knockout playoff round, which, again, what some folk could argue lucky ambition, because you're not really speculating. Sorry?
That sounds like penny pinching, because
I was kind of just got to say that, Jed. It kind of gives that argument for folk to say you're not speculating to accumulate. The money's there from the Champions League. The money's there for the Riley money. You've just brought in $5 million for Bell.
They're still in a net spend.
That's mad.
From the summer. So the money there. Let's get it. Let's give everybody the boost.
Aye. And I don't think anybody's asking for anything unrealistic. We're not expecting going to spend Engels money all the time on somebody. No. Somewhere like between your trustee and Engels, that's what I'm kind of looking at for our signings. Obviously, you'll bring in your McCowns of the world, even your Kuhns of the world. You look at Kuhn. If that's the type of guy you can get for free, you will pick up bargains like that, and you will get your McCowns of the world.
Yes, and I think as well, a lot of people were saying McGowan was a bit of an injustice he wasn't starting at the weekend, because he's been a very good signing for the club. We all wish we probably could be in his position where he's managed to play for his childhood club, and it must be some feeling to do that, to put the strap on and go out and play. That must be amazing, and none of us can appreciate that. No,
and like you say, even just to do it once, but he's actually doing it more than once. He's more than contributing. So it's brilliant when it's a Celtic fan that's doing that, and you maybe subconsciously and knowingly doing it, you kind of want more for him, because you just
what it would mean,
what it means to him. Aye, and especially when he's, obviously none of us know Luke McCowan, but it's, what is he, 27-year-old, 26, 27, so he's coming into his peak years, I feel like, and I don't know, he's maybe looking at Dundee going, well, I was down in League One only a couple of years ago. He's probably not thinking a move to Celtic's ever happening, so to get it, he could have maybe froze under it and went, well, I'm here now, I've kind of made it, but he's stuck in. And what I like about him is he done an interview a couple of weeks ago after a game, and I think he was asked about how he was the main man, essentially at Dundee. I think he might have even been the captain when he was there, and now he's came to Celtic, and he's not a bit back player, but he's not featuring as regular as sometimes he starts, but then he could have a good game and he'll be out the next game, or he'll come off the bench and have a good game, but he'll not necessarily start the next game. And his answer was brilliant for me. Now I'm paraphrasing it, but it was essentially going, well, you come to a club like this, you shouldn't expect to play every week. He says, I just need to be ready when called upon, and I understand my position in this team. So that's what I like from his. I'm not saying that he knows he's a squad player essentially, but he's contributing for me, and it's brilliant to see.
Yeah, and I mean, he could be thinking as well, pinching his cell, I'm here. And he's probably signed, look, you won't play every game, but, and he's probably the easy option to drop.
Aye.
Rather than using the word rotate the squad.
Aye. So, you're essentially getting dropped, aren't you?
Aye. So, and he's not going to kick up a stink, is he? He's not.
Nah.
So that's an easy option for Rodgers. But listen, let's hope. I wouldn't mind him coming on and scoring the win on Wednesday night.
No, it'd be good. I think actually, I'm trying to remember if he scored in that Bratislava game. Can't actually remember. But we'll kind of move on to the North Curve, the Green Brigade statement of the weekend, Jed, what I thought was a bit weird when they're moaning about, and I'm going to try and read it out because I've taken a wee screenshot of it, so bear with me now. So they were handing out leaflets, I'm led to believe, before the game, and on that leaflet it said, as we begin a new year, Celtic maintains a dominant lead in the league while chasing another treble. However, the dominance on the pitch is sadly unmatched in the stands, prompting us to make this plea. In 2016, Celtic became the first club on these shores to introduce standing in the top flight football. The standing section brought a buzz to Celtic Park thanks to everyone contributing, revolutionising the atmosphere and advancing ultras culture across the country. As we approach 10 seasons of the standing section, its influence has unfortunately regressed. There are multiple reasons for this, some of which we take responsibility for as the ultras group leading the section. However, the responsibility to back the team sits with us all. As ultras, we introduced a different style of support in 2006, one where we continue because we enjoy it and believe it's effective. However, we appreciate that this style isn't for everyone at all times. Therefore, we are beyond the point of expecting 3,000 hands in the air, bouncing on the spot, swaying side to side, or doing the huddle, despite all the common in the early years of the standing section, of being common, sorry. We are therefore asking simply 4 things of you. Sing, be vocal, back the team and harass the opposition. Clap along to songs to create more noise. Stay until the team leaves the pitch to show your appreciation. Keep your phone in your pocket and enjoy and contribute to the moment. We don't want to patronise anyone about the importance of backing the team, nor eulogise the Celtic atmosphere. However, lazy, complacent and spoiled attitudes have afflicted the support even on European nights. While many factors contribute to this, the unavoidable truth is that we can do better for our team. In 2016, we introduced the North Curve Celtic to bridge the gap between the Green Brigade and other fans in the standing section. This initiative has been successful with the visible achievements such as the murals and the concourses. However, the North Curve have also stagnated, hindered by restrictions and poor engagement from the club. Simply put, the board don't want a large active fan movement, but knows it cannot stop the evolution of fan culture. Celtic Park is on the brink of transition. The stadium needs to be refreshed, facilities, tickets and culture. a unified goal end standing section. The Celtic end is a solution to many frustrations, and season ticket holders have backed the concept through recent fan survey. While exciting, it may take years to achieve. Until then, we must focus on supporting the team from our current area. As always, we thank everyone for your continued support with what we do, including for our various social projects. Everything we do made possible by your support. We wish you all a happy and healthy new year. What do you make of that, Jed?
Listen, they're going to upset a few fans, but they're also going to have a few fans that will back them 100%. I personally think they've made some good points there. The one being about backing the team at the end. On Saturday, it was a cup game, 10 minutes to go, and the amount of people were leaving, and I'm thinking, what if Kilmarnock score? And this goes into extra time. So I think they have got a point there. There does seem to be people leave, and I know that's their choice. They pay the money, they can do what they want. Yeah. But that is a personal bugbear in mine.
Right.
Back the team at the end. Yes, I've for all the years, the old Celtic part, the jungle, the Celtic end, the Rangers end of it, the jungle would, the Celtic end would be singing, the jungle would be singing. Where I think now the fans, they don't do anything. They're waiting on the Green Brigade starting. Even the boys are quite quiet. Where they sit in the opposite. They're in the Jockstein lower in the corner. Listen, they will upset a lot. Like I say, I'll upset a lot of people because they think people will think, well, they think they're better than all the other fans. And I know I have had it said to me as well when Celtic have won the league or anything like that. The players have went over with the trophy and got their photo taken there. And their fans in other areas of the ground think, wait a minute, I've been a season ticket holder long even before some of these are even born. Why are you not coming around to this section? So they do. It's just trying to get that happy medium to keep everybody happy. But I do think they have raised some very good points. And one being, we need to back the team. We need to back the team. And especially this Wednesday. I'll go back to last season. I said in the podcast as well, when we played Hearts and we beat them at Celtic Park, the atmosphere was fantastic. And you could see it rattled the Hearts players. You could see it was getting to them. We need to create that. We do. And as Sam Fran, I think, said earlier, I mean, people turn up and think we should be 4-5-0 up at 20 minutes. We expect them. It's a two-way streak. We want to support them, but we also want them to put in the effort. But as if the crowd are up for it, it intimidates them. Look what the player from Red Bull Leipzig said after they couldn't cope. Right, the fans were just... So we can get to that. I just hope some people listen to... They won't agree with everything, but the one about backing the team, I agree 100% with.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm probably with them on that. Now, like you say, folk are well within their right as a paid customer to leave when they want to leave. Some folk, there will be a section of that support that leave early. There'll be legit reasons for that, whether it be they need to be somewhere, they've maybe got something on that night. Could be to catch a supporters bus just there, maybe in a section of the stadium. It takes them 20-30 minutes and they're risky missing the supporters bus. Obviously, they've got designated parking. It might be guys that need to get back to Stranraer for a ferry. There will be, but that will not be it. Because I can even remember when it's been about 6 years, I think, 6-7 years since I had a season ticket, possibly a wee bit longer. But even then, I've managed to get to games here and there. But even when I had it, you did notice still it was a lot of fans that would leave quite early. And that kind of annoyed me. One of the reasons we always stayed is because when I was there, we still had the old section of Rangers fans when they had 8,000 there, and my seat was pretty much right next to them, so it didn't matter the result. We could be getting cup for nothing. I had, as Clermont, I had the moral victory back then by not leaving early, so I would not let them see me. So I'm with the Green Brigade on that. I'm with the Green Brigade on a lot of the charitable work they do and causes they have. I would not select anybody for doing a minute's work for charity. I think that's, you can't, what they do with the food banks and things like that is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I would never have a pop at them for that. But I just, for me, there's a wee bit of hypocrisy in the fact that they were moaning about Brendan Rodgers saying how fans should support. And here they are only 10, 2 weeks later telling the rest of the fans how to support. So I think that's a wee bit ill-timed, I feel like, and that'll maybe backfire for them and not maybe gather them the support that they hope. But I also think there's a wee underlying tone that they want that Celtic end. Now, it's probably not right for me as not being a season ticket holder, but obviously you'd be up that end, Jed, but I don't think it would affect you with being in the upper stand. I think it's more they're looking at the lower stand. Now, for me, I think there'll be guys in there like some of yourself that's probably had a season ticket for over 20 years. You're asking them to move, and you just don't know how that sits with them. I don't think it'll sit well with some, but like you say, it'll not sit well with others. Sorry, you've just went total quiet there, Jed. I don't know. I'm not even on mute. I'll try something there. Let's see if we can get Jed back. I'll see if I can unmute his mic. Try and talk now, Jed. I've absolutely no idea what happened there. Now, what I'm going to do, Jed, is I'll take you out and I'll bring you back in. See if that works. Right, let's see. Apologies about this. He's not even on mute. Can you talk now, Jed? Nah. Cannot hear you, mate. Right, no worries. Right, so I'll just try and fly solo here now and keep talking. But any in the comments, if you've got anything to say about the Green Brigade on that statement in the North Curve, by all means, join in. But as I say, I'm probably 70-30 against them. I will say, even when I had my season ticket, it did start to feel that a lot of the fan base was relying on them for songs, so kind of to an extent back them on that. But I think they have came a wee bit elitist in my opinion, and the fact that they seem to be. I'm just going to try and add Jed back in here. Wait there, Jed, because you're on. Right. I think I've just muted him, and he's tried to unmute himself. Wait there. Let's see what's happening here. How's this not unmuting? Can you unmute that yourself, Jed? I can't seem to unmute you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
What's happened there?
No, you weren't even on mute and it didn't come up.
No, I don't know what happened. Sorry, folks. What I was trying to say before we had the wee technical issues was we can't have the Celtic end because they've got the number 7 restaurant with all the padded seats. So and there's loads there. So where are they? It would mean having to do an across the other.
I really look at hospitality.
Yeah, hospitality. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think if they had to do anything in the stadium, which a lot of fans are, as the main stand, to do refurbishment there. I do like the idea of a Celtic end, but I just think it's not practical because of the hospitality. There are thousands of padded seats there beside the number 7 restaurant.
Nah, actually, I forgot that was at that end of the stadium, and I'm just trying to think the opposite end where they are. There's not any hospitality there.
No,
but I forgot to get obviously the away fans with it.
You're not going to get the
full end. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would only get so far over because obviously if we're looking at getting up in the away allocation again, you're only going to go so far over. But for me, if I'm not totally against it because obviously I'm not. No. You'd then be upsetting season ticket holders there if you had to do it at that stand. It's just for me, they are a wee bit becoming elitist. I think the Green Brigade and stuff. But you were kind of off there, Jed, as well. Even when I had my season ticket, it did feel like some of the fans in some of the stadium did rely on them for songs. So I will kind of back them a wee bit there, but I'm not saying they think they're important, but certainly in my opinion, I think they've got to a certain level where I think they think they speak for a lot of the fan base. But like you say, it goes back to your first. They'll upset some folk and they'll get some. They'll get some support, probably in equal measures, because it's this ultras. I feel like is kind of the new fashionable way to watch football, and it is all young guys, and essentially for football to progress and move any sort of a sport, if you want, you need to get the younger generation in, and for probably a lot of these younger generation, that's a cool way to watch football.
Yeah, I mean, just about Hampden, the semi-final and the final, the pyrotechnics, it looks great, but it's a nightmare. No. It's a nightmare. So it is. And I know as well, I've upset a lot of fans at the away games because they all congregate together, whether you're sitting there or not. Doesn't matter, they've took that over. So they have hacked off a lot of fans, but they've also do a lot of the charity work in that they do. And then people turn around and say, well, look at the UEFA fines they've had because of them. Now, some of the things, a couple of things I have done, I was quite, the Palestinian side, I agree with them 100%. That doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic in any way. You're just thinking for a group of people who are suffering. Now, that, in my opinion, I don't think they've done anything wrong there. You can't be allowing Ukrainian flags but you can't allow Palestinian flags. So I do agree with what they've done there. I back them 100% with that. But again,
in fairness, with that as well, Jed, that's not the first. The Palestinian thing, as much
it's been going on for years.
I don't and as much as I don't kind of want to get involved too much in it. The Green Brigade, even when I was a season ticket holder, like as I say, 6-7 years ago, and had it for about 10 years, was Palestinian flags there when I was there.
Yeah, I think as well.
So it's not a new thing.
No, I have touched on this as well. The club are a bit hypocritical when it comes to that, because if you want, they sell the green pound. They play let the people sing. The words for those that are oppressed and songs they can't protest. So the club cannot be having that song getting played and then criticise a fan base if they then come out in support of a people who are struggling.
Yeah,
I know we're going off topic a wee bit here.
No, that's fine.
But so just going back to what we said earlier as well, the Green Brigade, a lot of people agree with them, a lot of people don't agree with them, and it is just trying to get that happy medium.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I think it's what, like you say, you'll get difference of opinion probably definitely in this podcast regarding the Green Brigade. There's some of us that will have them, some is half and half, some is just can't be bothered with them. But I'm probably, let's say, 70-30 against them. Probably that the charitable work will always keep them high for me, closer to that 30%. But it's just a lot of this stuff. Let's say I'm maybe a wee bit against them for a personal thing, because I was at a cup game once and all I got for about 45 minutes was sing, and I was under a bloody banner the whole game, and I was like, well, this is brilliant, mate.
Aye.
So I mean, but that's maybe a personal thing that I'm holding against them.
And I must admit as well there on Saturday, and I'm glad everything went well, and rightly so, because he deserved it. When I wasn't sure if we were going to do a minute's silence, a minute's applause. And you are always a wee bit worried when things like that happen, but credit to all the Celtic fans and the Kilmarnock fans, they all participated in the minute's applause. And so that, because you're always worried about things like that, but I mean, that Dennis Law deserved that, so I was glad that.
Because he was like the only Scottish Ballon d'Or winner, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
It just shows you the kind of level of player he was. I mean, I'm obviously not. I mean, I'm 40-year-old, but I've not had the privilege of seeing a guy like Dennis Law playing. Brown Warren makes a good point when it comes to charity. It says the right hand shouldn't know what the left hand is doing when it comes to charity, which is correct. And I just think, I personally don't like talking about politics and that, because I just think, especially on sport, I've always tried to keep sport away from it, because it's like whose cause is the most important at the end of the day, and it's everybody will always put their case forward why their cause is more important than the next one, and everybody's is just important to that person, I feel like, and stuff. But no, I just, like you say, the Green Brigade will always, if you've gone under that ultras tag, like you say, Jed, you'll upset folk and you'll get support. It's trying to just keep it on the right side of, so it's not then affecting what's on the park. And thankfully, right now, it doesn't seem to be doing that.
I mean, some of the tifos they have done has been phenomenal.
And I think that's where the folk that are 100% with them will then go, you can't have your cake and eat it with them, which I totally get. Hands up, I totally get. Because I'm sitting saying I'm 70% against them, but I love their tifos. I love what they do there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm essentially want my cake and eat it with them, if you like.
I know. And just some things, I think everybody would agree. Some of the things they do, you're like, oh, I should just leave that. But they won't, because...
And in fairness, in that leaflet, they have owned up that some of this is how truthful that is. They have taken some blame to some of it.
They can't
not. So, I know. Especially when a lot of the fines are causing them, like you touched on.
They can't.
But no, we'll move on to Wednesday's game, Jed. Young Boys of Bern. Massive game for us. Probably the biggest game of after obviously the cup final, but now biggest game of the season. I think if you actually looked at the Champions League group, I think we're 3 above we're in the playoff positions, and we're the third sort of bottom team of, if you look at that group, I think only 4 or 5 teams that could realistically catch us if they get 6 from 6. But if you look at the teams, it's only PSG that's likely. So I think in all reality, we're not mathematically, but we're probably already through. But a win on Wednesday. I think a win on Wednesday guarantees it.
Got to win on Wednesday. That's not hope in other people. It's in our own hands. Let's go out and do it. And then that was the target that all supporters were probably taking. Let's be honest, we didn't think we were going to get in the top 8. I know after a couple of games we thought we could, but look, you're really stepping up a level here. So let's take care of it on Wednesday night. I seen the Celtic supporters liaison officer put out a tweet today, basically just some of the roads, because I think they're bringing they're sold out their section
allocation,
so they're going to have a good few thousand over. So it should be a good atmosphere. But we have got to be up for it. The fans have got a massive part to play on Wednesday night. We've got to support the club. If we go a goal down, we've done in the past, Leipzig's a prime example. Let's come back, got to back the club. If we can get 3 points, fine. Then, as we commented on earlier, let's hope then the players and the wings waiting to come in. We've got to win. We cannot rely on other teams.
No, totally. And I think when you look at the young boys, like, I don't know the results, but I had a quick look at where they're sitting 9th in the Swiss League. Now, I'm not going to profess to know how strong that league is, but sitting 9th, you're not expecting, of any league, you're not expecting a top team, if you like. They're rock bottom of this Champions League phase. So, if ever, I don't want to totally jinx it, Jed, and be next time I'm on going, Jesus, what a speech I gave here. But if ever there's a game we're sitting saying it's a must-win game, you've got a home game against 9th, the bottom of the Champions League group. You're at home against them, needing a win, and they're currently 9th in the league now. You probably couldn't pick a better tie, surely.
Well, you hope so, but look at Club Brugge. We thought, this will be an easy 3 points, and it wasn't.
Zagreb as well.
Yeah, we have to be up for this game. We've got to be at them. We've got to the high press. We need to move the ball quicker. If we move the ball quicker, that's when we play our best.
No, totally.
And that's got a couple of goals. If we can get a couple of goals up in the first half hour, you've just got to hope that they panic big time, and the fans will buck for it. And we all know, Franny, the opposition suffer when the noise and everything like that, they panic. They can't cope. They can't hear each other. So that's how we, as a club, as a fan base, we've got a massive part to play on Wednesday night.
No, totally. And I think, like you say, if we got off to a quick start, the fans need to stick with the team. There might be some sticky moments as a Champions League after all.
There will be sticky.
So it's a Champions League, Jed. There will be sticky moments. There might be a wee bit of nerves coming in the team. Just try. The fans just need to try and, like you say, stay with the team. Stay with the team. And I think, like you say, if we get an early goal, I think the place will be tenfold.
Well, it's another sellout. I must admit, I'm really looking forward to it.
So am I.
But
there's reasons.
But you're going hospitality. So
I'm going the big seats. That's how I don't know what that Celtic end. Although I'm only joking that the hospitality I'm not going at that end.
No, I just hope that we put in a performance like we know we're capable of doing, but we also know what we're capable of not doing. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
You touched on earlier as well, Franny. These chances we're creating, is this going to come back and haunt us? Well, let's hope it doesn't. We have got to put these away, and this is where Ingles is going to start. So let's hope this is the game where we say, well, I've already said he's going to be a good signing, but where he really steps up to the mark, and Trusty and that has a good game. But I think as well, this is where I keep saying the fans, if there is a misplaced pass, don't start them moaning and everything like that. Let's give them the encouragement. And if they do that, that'll help them. Because if they start moaning, then if they get their frightened,
start maybe doing the easy pass.
Exactly. You want them to put the wee quicker movement, a pass over down the wing quicker, or over the top with Kyogo running and things like that. Let's see how young boys cope with that.
And Sam Fran's in saying they're actually 12, but only 8 points off first, so it's a wee bit different. I didn't actually look at their points, I just looked at the league position.
Well, they're closer to first than what Rangers are, so they must be.
Well, this is true. And then Gavin's saying he was at a Parkhead game back in the 90s. He believes Tiger Tim. You can remember him, that he got the sack that night.
Yeah, got the sack for calling them, didn't call them Rangers, called them the other name. And
all right. Interesting. Yeah. But no, can you give us your starting lineup? I don't think there'll be any surprises here, Jed.
I think the starting lineup will be the exact same as what it was in Saturday. So I can't see them being any changes from there. And so what's that? That's then Schmeichel, Johnson, Carter Vickers, Trusty, Taylor, Hatate, McGregor, Ingles, Kuhn, Maeda, and Kyogo up front. Yeah. And I'm going for a 3-0.
But by the way, it's the exact same as me. I think there's a reason Rodgers put that team out on Sunday. I think obviously if we got between a lot of our chances earlier, I think changes might have been made soon, and you might have seen other players come on. But I think everybody that he used on Saturday, and regardless of the scoreline, I think everybody would have been a view of this. The way I seen it, and I think you're seeing it as well, was that team that started Saturday is a team that will start Wednesday. I totally agree. I think that's who will start Wednesday, and all the substitutes he used on Saturday as well. I think he probably had a view, but that's he'll be using on that game. I think an ideal world I used him earlier.
To play as well. The subs will have a big part to play on Wednesday night. But I don't know if anybody will disagree with the starting 11. People maybe say, have McGowan in the stadium, maybe a Tate or Bernardo, but I just got a feeling he's going to just go with the starting 11 as we did in Saturday.
I think so. And I'm with you, Jed. I've went 3-0 as well. I think that's the scoreline for me as well. I think if an early start and get a goal, it may just turn into a big night. And fingers crossed it does that. Sam Fran is saying it's the biggest game in many a day, which is true, and he's expecting big things. Fingers crossed.
Bang on it. Sam Fran's saying a lot of good things tonight, actually.
I think it's you, and you're just sitting there typing these things up, Jed, here.
But I mean, let's be honest. If you look this season, we've done well. We've not been beaten the Champions League at home. Carries back to, was it Feyenoord we played last? The last season, the final game of the Champions League group stages. So let's get another one under our belt and go off a Champions League campaign where we've not lost a game at home.
No, totally. And then Sam Fran's just chucked under the bus. He said, "Is your Jed's burner account?"
Yeah.
So I've been fun at Jed. You've been fun at, but no, I'm looking forward to it for many reasons. Like you said, I'm getting hospitality. A good friend that owns Golf Poser has secured me hospitality for the game in the Adidas box. So I'm really looking forward to Wednesday night. So I'll be close to the Green Brigade, so I should have actually remembered that. I'll need to get my mask on. No. I'm up closer to them as I'm up to the number 7 bar. I'm
looking to enjoy, but the only thing with night games, when you come home, especially European nights, and if things go well, it takes me hours to calm down. You're on social media. Hours, it doesn't. I've always been like that.
No, same, Jed.
And let's hope I'm like that on Wednesday night as well.
Oh, I'll take it again, Jed. And like I say, let's hope we're like that. I
do not want to go down to Villa having to win.
No, I don't want. I know. I mean, I'm not saying Villa playing poorly now, but they had a great start to the season, especially in this Champions League. They've been brilliant. I think they're a wee bit, I wouldn't say indifferent, they're just not, they're probably more what you'd expect for an Aston Villa team than now. But no, I don't want to be going down there needing to get, not even as much as a draw, Jed. I don't want to go down there needing to get something. Yeah,
we go down there, relax, knowing doesn't matter what we win, what the result. Fine,
and it might be that away game that we managed to win because the pressure's off. It's a sense of free hit. There's nothing riding on it.
So that's what we want. And the good thing is, I have noticed on social media as well, a lot of people looking to see if there are any tickets going about as well. So that's I like to see that. And looking forward to it. Just hope it's not too cold.
No. Well, it'll be cold when I'll be all right. I'll be all right. But no, that's us for next. Thanks for everybody's watched. Did you enjoy that there, Jed?
I did. I just don't know what's happening now. The gremlins. I'm getting my.
I don't worry about it.
I got a new iPad for my Christmas, and I've not set it up for me yet. So hopefully.
Honestly, I've no idea what was wrong. You were one minute, and they just went to talking, didn't they? Yeah. So coming out, and you weren't even muted.
No, I need to get one of them set it up, because when it comes to stuff like that, I'm not very good. So hopefully they'll be all set up for me.
You didn't need to apologise. At least you're paying your Wi-Fi, unlike James. That's how he's not been on for a while. He's saying Wi-Fi issues were. But an absolute shambles, our podcast. Let's be honest. We're a shambles. But we try our best. That's it. But no, as I say, thanks for everyone in the comments. Corvo was in. He's saying apparently Newcastle's looking at Kuhn, but as I said to him, I'll swap him for Isaac. That's the only way. It's the only way you're getting Kuhn as you gear as Isaac.
I think otherwise, they do and they got at the weekend. I never seen that coming.
No,
so he'll be a bit upset. I just did not see that one.
Nah, they're fine now as well. So it's not for us, to be fair, but that's for another day. But
still
1-0. Dundee United are proper coming into it, as you'd expect. 10 minutes to go, they're obviously just kind of.
I'll go and watch.
Chuck a wee bit in it, but no, they say Celtic were in the next round of the hat, but let's look forward to Wednesday, and hopefully Wednesday is a right good day, a right good night, and we're looking forward to a knockout game in the Champions League.
Yeah, no, hopefully, guys,